Yo, what it do, YouTube? It is your boy, ColtsTalk. We are back with another episode today. I got two guests with me. You guys seen them on a few episodes, maybe if you've seen them on the live stream, if you've been on my live streams. But I got my guy Brandon and I got my guy Lucas with us. Start off with Brandon. How you doing tonight, man?
I'm hanging in there, trying to recover from this weekend, from the misery that was the Colts game, but I'm getting there.
Yeah, I'm still recovering too. Lucas, how you doing, man?
I'm trying to get swole, but not Carson Wentz swole.
I can feel that. I can feel that. Today we got a nice topic discussion today. We're going up against our first rival game of the year. It is the Tennessee Titans, who seems to be maybe figuring it out at the end. Maybe they just realized that they got a guy named Derrick Henry on the team. They gave him the ball, and he ran for 3 touchdowns last week against the Seattle Seahawks. And we get to see him this week for the first time in rival territory. So I would love to get you guys points on this game. We're going to go from the offensive side first, talking about what the Indianapolis Colts have to do to at least try to have a chance at winning this game. Brandy, you can go first.
Honestly, it's got to be the trifecta, the triple-headed dragon that is Taylor, Mack, and Hines. That honestly will be our key with the questionable Jacob at the helm. Which is probably going to be our starting quarterback for the Titans game, and his unknowing of his skills for the NFL. I think that the Colts honestly need to really bring in the 1-2 punch of Mack and Taylor and have Hines in that slot, possibly even wildcat formation. Bring all three of them in for a couple plays, especially on goal line. I could definitely see that being a terror for the Titans defense in the red zone. I know we struggled in the red zone this past weekend, and hopefully we can utilize those three. I think those three are going to be our key components to this week's offense. Especially with the questionable line, not for sure if Braden Smith is going to be there or not really for sure on how Fisher's health is doing at this point. Haven't really seen too much of him. So if we could knock him out with the three-headed dragon, I think that we could come out on top.
I like that game plan. Lucas, is on you.
All right. Well, I do agree that we have to have a very steady run game against the Titans to win. We have to keep the ball away from this Titans offense. We can't let them dominate time of possession and wear down our defense, because then it's going to get more and more sloppy as the game goes on, and that's where Henry absolutely dominates. However, the way to beat this Titans defense is through the air more so than the run. They're not great in either. You can beat them both ways, but the best way to beat them is through the air. Problem is, with Carson Wentz's health, it's hard to determine how good our passing offense will be with Eason at the helm. However, if we can get a lot of really quick reads out of the backfield with Hines and Taylor, plus possibly maybe Paris Campbell is back healthy, that could open up a lot of the quick game outside. Maybe get a lot of yards after the catch opportunities for not just him, but Pascal, Paris, Pittman, and, of course, Michael Strawn. So it's going to be very interesting to see what kind of attack they want to do. If they're going to go with Eason, see a very simplified offense with a lot of run mixed in, of course, but you're going to have to challenge them in the pass a few times here or there, so expect a lot of quick reads. Maybe a few deep shots here or there. He does have the arm strength, but the problem is, can the offensive line protect him for that long? This is the easiest defensive line we're going up against and the weakest pass rush we're going up against. But is Davenport even going to be able to block these guys?
Yeah, man, that's a good, interesting point. I'm definitely thinking Pascal can have another good game. Being as though whoever is at quarterback, if Carson's out there with no feet and can still throw the football, that's what I'm saying. If he can throw and he wants to play, let him play, because he knows how important this game is. So I totally understand where he comes from. But if they shut it down, I understand that as well, because we want him as fully healthy as possible. But if the signs that he's not in a boot shows a lot that it's a pain, but it's not lingering. So, hey, man, he could play going up against this game, but if not, we just got to stick it out with Eason. They did bring up Brent Huntley to the squad. So I don't know if they're going to be splitting reps or not, but we'll see how that turns out. But running the football can definitely be the key to success against these guys. Throwing the football, we know how good we can be throwing the football, but the thing is, can we get the ball off? Because we know Eason has a quick zip. I think he releases the ball a little bit faster than Carson Wentz, but the thing is that maybe his throwing power is a little too strong, so he overthrows receivers a little bit. So the protection has to be the most important thing going into this game. But like I said, if we run the football and we're aggressive and we can pull it off, I think we can win the game by at least 3 points. But we're going to go ahead and swing it to Tennessee. They have a very, very high-powered offense, and the defense can be surprising as well. So what do you think we're going to have to do to stop Tennessee? I'm going to swing it to Brandon. What is the key things? I will give you 3 key factors how to stop Tennessee so we can win this game.
Stop playing prevent, because Tannehill, he does have an arm, but he is getting up there in age and he is inconsistent with the long passes. So prevent defense should not even be on the playbook for this week. The second one, I would say, rely heavily on the instincts of Leonard. Let him call the shots. Let him direct the team, because he will see the key weaknesses within the defense or within the offense. And if we run the defense through him, allow him to make the decisions, I think that he could make it a whole lot better of a ball game for us. And then the third is Kari Willis to get out of his head. I believe that is why he's gotten beat so much, is because he is thinking so much about his game, because he had such a strong showing the past season. He came out as a dominant free safety and safety. So I think if he just gets out of his head, gets back into playing the ball that he was last year, he shouldn't have any issues going into this game.
All right. Key points is taken. I accept that. Lucas, it's on you. What are some things we can do to stop Tennessee to win this game?
I agree that we shouldn't be doing any prevent defense or anything like that. We should be trying to get a little bit more aggressive with our blitzes, especially getting a lot more 8 men in the box to try and stop Tannehill and his RPOs, and especially Henry running the ball. But you also have to be wary of that passing game still. They do have 2 amazing wide receivers in Julio Jones and A.J. Brown, who can beat you any play. The question, though, is can we get pass rush on them, and can we be physical enough at the point of attack to try and redirect Henry to some smaller gains rather than getting those big plays off of us? I also think that, in kind of an inverse to what Brandon was saying, I think we should stop giving so much play calling duties to the Maniac, because he actually has been giving some of these play calls that used to be giving out to Anthony Walker and some of that. And he's just not been as instinctive. He's trying to overthink a little bit. Similar to what he was saying about Kari Willis, I think we should also apply to the same to him. Really rely on Eberflus trying to, focus more on calling stuff out. And if someone is calling stuff out at the line, maybe shift it to being possibly Kari Willis and allow Darius Leonard to be more of that instinctive, hey, I'm just going to flow to my assignment. I'm going to go downhill and attack this offensive line and get after Henry. So that way that we have our very best player off ball being able to flow as quick as possible to his spots. But okay. I think there could be a case for both sides, though. I don't think I'm absolutely right that we have to take the mind game away from Darius Leonard or not. It's just what I've kind of been evaluating on that. And I respect Brand's opinion as well on that.
Oh, yeah, man. It's all love when it comes to talking football, no matter how hectic, toxic, or positive it may be. But you guys both make interesting points. I kind of see our edge rush having a very solid game this week. I think that because I think Eberflus is going to throw a lot of disguises out there. We know they're pretty good at running the football. But I think when you look at what we got going on and how successful Al-Qadim Muhammad did last week, even though it's kind of went under the radar, when you look at the offensive line for Tennessee, you see they're kind of banged up. I think we can take advantage of that. And I think the defense will wake up this week against the Titans. They know how important this game may be. Another thing is we got to do better in coverage. is going to be very huge going against this game. We know the edge rush can definitely attack Tannehill, but if the coverage is soft, they're going to dot us up. They have receivers all over the place. We know if you look at week 1, we got dominated by Tyler Lockett. Week 2, we got dominated by Cooper Kupp. In week 3, it can be anybody on Tennessee. It don't have to be A.J. Brown or Julio. It can be a guy that barely receives the football. But just due to the coverage that we're running, it can definitely be a problem. But if our pass rush is there, that's how our coverage is successful. We just have to attack the QB and be aggressive. Just as simple as that. Don't let off the gas. Be aggressive. And we just have to throw one of those fronts, like a Grover Stewart, have Buckner next to him, put maybe a Pay on the side, and have Muhammad on the opposite side. Don't try to switch it up and have different schemes. If there's something working, I say we'll just run that. But, I mean, the coverage is going to be a very key factor to this game, but because we know Henry's going to get his yards regardless because it's Derrick Henry. Julian Blackman, him practicing today, I think that's a big point going into this game as well. How good is he going to look against them? He sounds like he's motivated to meet up with Derrick Henry. So I'm looking forward to this game. It can definitely be a trap game. Like I said, if we win, I think I have us winning by 3. So I give us the favor of this. Let me get your score predictions, Brandon. What do you think the score? Who do you think is going to win? You don't have to say the Colts. You can be realistic.
Honestly, this game is going to be a nail biter. It's going to come down. I'm hoping and I'm feeling. I made a bold prediction on my Twitter. I think, honestly, that the Colts will go on a 4-1 run, and it's going to start with Tennessee. I believe it's going to be a 24-20 game. Colts coming out on the top. Yeah.
Okay, I like that. Lucas, let me get your score prediction.
Well, the big key, of course, is going to be, is Carson Wentz playing and what level of play will he get? I think they might decide to play him, but personally, if I was them, I'd be a little bit more cautious because this is more of an evaluation for Carson Wentz than anything else. We were never really seriously expecting to contend, just to see if we could possibly get to the playoffs with him and evaluate him. He's a 2-year rental. You got to protect your investment on that. Personally, I would sit him out, but I think they might try and play him. So bearing that in mind and considering his limited capacity, I'm going to give the score prediction a 27-24 Titans victory.
Okay,
it's going to be close. I'm not going to enjoy watching that close of a game and it ending in a loss for the Colts, but I do think that we can go on to a 2-0 run the next 2 weeks potentially if we are a lot healthier throughout this entire roster. And I do think that we can have a really big run towards the end of the year to try and make it into the playoffs.
Okay. Randy, you got anything to say about that?
No, I can honestly see it going both ways. I could see us kind of stumbling out the gates, kind of like we are now, and then making a strong push towards the middle end of the season. That's kind of what the Colts do. I kind of want to break it from that. I'm trying to be optimistic with the Colts this year. I think that's like our key phrase that we all need to be is just optimistic, glass half full kind of thing. Let's just take it as it is, and let's just hope for the best. But I did want to add one thing because I see Easton getting absolutely destroyed on social media. And with that interception, I do want to say he came to the sideline and I could lip read what he was saying. He said that he did not throw enough of an arc and that he did drop the ball short. And if you look at that throw, that interception that he did, he was almost a bullet line pass that just came up short. And the guy that he was throwing to was wide open. He was a good, solid man and a half, like out from the defender. So I'm giving it up to Easton on this one. I'd say he's got this. I'm very, very optimistic with him. And I'm hoping that he is our starter to rest Carson. And I'm hoping that he does have a solid performance.
I think he'd have a solid performance, no doubt about that. Especially since this is a lot easier of a defense that he's going up against. There's no Aaron Donald. Jeffrey Simmons is good, but he's no Aaron Donald. They do not have a cornerback who's like a Jalen Ramsey who can absolutely shut down a whole entire side of the field. There is reason for some optimism for him. I do think that with a simplified game plan, he will be able to get the Colts going in some drives, keep this in the game a little bit. But because of the limited play calling, it could become a little bit more predictable, and that's when the Titans will start to get a little bit of an edge towards the end of the game.
Yeah. Make a good point, man. So hopefully we're riding with you, Easton, man. Hopefully you can pull it off and get the W's. I know it's going to be Titans fans in the comment section talking about this, that. We understand. Look, we got one person on here that said the Titans are going to win. They're just going to be talking. It's all good. We love your positivity towards your team, but it's all good at the end of the day. It still go Colts. If we lose, it's all right. I mean, we're not perfect. We're not fully healthy anyway, so totally expected. It's kind of like last year when you guys beat us when everyone was on that list. So it is what it is, but hey, looking forward to a good game. I will be live streaming this, so you guys tune into that. We're going to go ahead and get up out of here. Brandon, where can they find you, man?
You can find me on Twitter, ColtsManiac. It is a new Twitter handle. I felt it'd be easier for people to find me. ColtsManiac91. Find me on Twitter. Making bold, outstanding, outrageous predictions, but...
All right, Lucas, it's on you, man.
Brandon, those aren't much hot takes. I hate to break it to you, man. You are being very rational. But yeah, you guys can find me at Robbins Lucas. It is spelled like that, but reversed around. And yeah, you can find me at Robbins Lucas on Twitter. You can also find me at the Blue Stable website, www.bluestable.com, as the lead writer. We're getting some amazing content being pushed out this week, and it's going to be a very, very interesting time to be a Colts fan in this crazy waiting on the injury list news.
Yeah. No lie there. But you heard those guys, man. Follow them on them platforms. You're already following me. That's how you know where they are. But appreciate you guys for tuning in to the video. See you on the live stream when I'm watching the game. Hopefully you guys tune in if you're not watching it live or at the game. But you guys stay safe out there. This is Marcus, and until next time, you've been Coach.